Hello, I'm Anne. I'm a librarian and I like to help schools by providing books on lots of different topics. One of the most popular topics is traditional tales, or you might know them as fairy tales or fairy stories. And today I'd like to read you the story of Little Red Riding Hood, or you may know it as Wee Rid Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a wee lass who lived in a house with her mother and father. One day, her mother told her to gang to her granny's button ben in yon forest and take her some pieces of jelly and other scran, as she had been bally-wally. Wee Red Riding Hood set half the pieces in a basket, and soon the houses were all left behind, and she gaed into the forest. It was dark in the forest, but she wasn't feared at all. But peeping fae behind the trees was a muckle wolf. "Where are you going, meein?" Wee Red Riding Hood didn't stop to think about danger and said, "To my granny's in the centre of the forest." "That's good of you, wee. Why do you no pick some flowers to tak her as well?" While she picked some flowers, the wolf ran ahead, brake into the button ben, and look at the granny in the press. Further on, Wee Red Riding Hood saw her granny's button ben. She chapped on the door and gaed in. But her granny looked a bit strange. Her granny was lying in her kip, the covers pulled up almost to her geggie. "Jinx, what piggy in ye hae?" "The better to see you," said the wolf. Wee Red then says, "What a deep voice you hae, granny." "The better to greet you with," responds the wolf. "Jinx, granny, what a big mouth you hae." "The better to tak you away," responds the wolf. "And what big horns you hae, granny." "The better to hide you away with," responds the wolf, and picks Wee Red up and locks her in the press with her granny. Then the wolf sleepeth. Wee Red Riding Hood whispered to her granny to keep quiet. She used the fork frae the basket to prise open the press door. Then she opened the window, and soon she saw the local woodcutter go by, took off her red cloak and waved it out the window. The woodcutter ran over, chopped down the door and chased him off a wall. Wee Red and Granny thanked him, and soon they all had a picnic together. Thank you for listening to the story.